Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. I hope you're ready for a wild ride today. Our house guests of the day are Jason Brooks and Elizabeth Zarita. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Woo! And before we get going, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So Gia R, Darby C, Aaron1121, Randall Westgard, and Christine, thank you for your super chats. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's crazy. I want to give you a warning. You may be really disappointed and disgusted with what we're about to talk about in a few minutes, and you may feel like, okay, this is going to be a waste of a week. But hang in there because things are not what they seem, or at least it doesn't seem like they are. I don't know. We're gonna get into it, but I'm just letting you know. Please keep an open mind, and we'll get there. All right. So, sorry to speak in riddles like Cameron, but all right. So last night, we saw Red was evicted by a vote of 8-2. He was blindsided, and apparently, Sari and Izzy did not go through with their plan to leave Mimi and Felicia out of the vote, making it a 6-4 vote. Because remember, Mimi and Felicia, as of yesterday morning, were trying to flip the vote back to get rid of Jag and keep Red. And Sari and Izzy didn't want to do that, but they were like, you know what? We're going to screw them over and have them be on the wrong side of the vote. They didn't end up doing it. They must have realized it would have been a mistake to blatantly lie to and blindside two allies for no reason. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I know it pisses a lot of you off, but it's honestly because I was up late watching this. Anyway, Sari and Izzy are going to have some explaining to do with Bowie and Cameron, right? Because those two, along with Red, were blindsided last night. And they're probably not happy about it, right? So we also saw that Cameron won HOH. And the reception was chilly. Ugh, nobody was really cheering for him. He is the first two-time HOH winner of the season, though. And then, to make things worse for everybody who's all like bummed out that Cameron won, Julie announced that everyone except for Cameron is a have-not for the week. So that means they will be eating slop, taking cold showers, taking turns sleeping in the have-not room. Oh my God. And there will be other punishments coming this week because we're in the Humiliverse, baby. Woo! I wonder if they're going to be doing the, what is that called? Like white elephant type POV comp this week with the punishments and the rewards. But maybe it's all punishments. I don't know. But anyway, we're waiting for the feeds to come back after the show's over, and the feeds stayed down until 10:20 p.m. Big Brother time. What? Not sure why exactly, because we saw the HOH on the episode, right? We saw that competition already. But I'm wondering, does it have anything to do with the gas masks that the house guests are now carrying around with them? They're in really fun colors, but yeah, they're carrying around gas masks. They're talking about something called a stinkometer. So I think that is what was going on when the feeds were down. I don't know the details of it yet. But anyway, sure. So then Cameron and Bowie were chatting in the have-not room, and they're talking about Red's eviction. And Cameron picked up on the fact, that there was, I'm so sorry. He picked up on the fact that there was a camera focused on him and one on Bowie during the eviction. And he's like, yeah, they must have wanted our reaction because we're the two who didn't know what was going on, right? So Cameron says that's why he just looked straight ahead. Okay, because I was curious about that. I guess he didn't want to like give them a reaction. So Bowie says her immediate assumption was that Sari was the one who voted with her. Oh my God. Everybody thinks that Sari's loyal to them. So Bowie asked Sari after, it was me and you, right? And Sari said, I'm so sorry. So Bowie was like, what? And then stormed off. Oh my goodness. So some drama there. Bowie says that she chatted with Sari after that, like since then, and it's fine now, but like there was some drama there, right? Bowie was not expecting that blindside. So Bowie says, I don't want people to be scared that me and you are teaming up, right? Bowie says, we have our team, our bullshit team. So she's realizing now that level 25 is bullshit. Okay. I mean, at least it happened, right? Better late than never. And Cameron says sarcastically, it's not bullshit. I love the team. That's my family. Yeah. He also knows it's bullshit. Okay. So, like, is he going to make a big move this week? What's the plan? So then, we're all excited, like, oh my God, what's he going to do? He's going to get some revenge here. And then Cameron says, Jag has to go this week. Seriously? The target is Jag? Like, are you serious? Been there, done that, right? But anyway, like I said, hang in there because that's probably not what's happening. But Bowie says that she loves that everyone is a have-not this week. She struggled with it during her have-notness because of the sleeping situation, right? She had a couple breakdowns because people were not going to bed, the lights stayed on, whatever. But she said this time, they only have to spend like one night each in have-not room, so it's not as bad. But they think that Felicia is really going to struggle with it. Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be a lot. I think Felicia is going to struggle with the slop. I wonder if she'll be able to use all of her seasoned salts on the slop. We'll see. But Cameron says, yeah, Felicia is really going to trouble. I think my brain's dying. He said, Felicia is really going to struggle if I put her up as a pawn. But he's like, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not that big of a dickhead. Okay, so before they wrap up the conversation, Bowie's like, don't tell anyone that I was actually happy that you won. Meet me in the dumpster. All right, so Izzy and Corey chat up on the sky bridge. And Izzy is already counting up the votes just in case she finds herself up on the block this week. Now, keep in mind, there's a good chance that Izzy could end up on the block because Cameron was pitching hard last week for Jared to backdoor Izzy, right? So she's definitely on his radar. And Corey's like, yeah, I mean, we gotta keep an eye on that situation. But he says Cameron is already skeptical about this Felicia story that everybody's trying to sell. That Felicia is like responsible for the vote flipping against Red. He says Cameron is he's probably not going to believe that, even if everyone is telling him the same story. So they talk about how it was the two of them and Cameron left at the end of the HOH competition, and they feel like crap, that they couldn't seal the deal. They couldn't get the win. And I think it was Izzy was talking to Jared a little bit later, and she said she feels like Cirie was like so disappointed in her, and like the look on Cirie's face killed her. Damn, she disappointed mommy. She's not mad, she's just disappointed. But yeah, Izzy was really hurt that she could not win this for her allies. She says Cameron has nobody right now, but when he needed to win, he did. And Izzy says, I want to be able to provide that in this game for my allies. Excuse me. She says winning competitions isn't everything, but it is important. So Corey points out, yeah, but like Cirie and I, like neither of us have won anything yet either. And Jared has only won one competition. So it's not like all on you. So they talk about who they think that Cameron would possibly nominate this week. And they're kicking around some names. Blue, Jag, Felicia, America, Izzy. They are all possibilities, right? With that being said, Corey and Izzy do feel like they still made the right call voting Red out this week. And I'd have to agree. Can you imagine if Red stayed and Cameron won HOH? And so they're both in here and they're both in power? No. But they agree if Jag goes this week, if Cameron does what he did last time, that would be great for them because then Cameron is taking out a big target for them. They don't have to worry about that. And then they could go after Cameron next week. So Corey says, the one thing that you have going for you with Cameron, he underestimates you and Cirie competition-wise. He thinks, yes, you guys are in charge. You're making a lot of decisions, but he also thinks that you cannot win competitions. You won't win competitions. So he views Jag as a bigger threat because he feels like he can beat you guys. So Corey says, the reality is Cameron might be able to beat all of us in comps. He's been pretty strong so far. So you're really going to need to play into that, and show that you're not a strong competitor. Not that you're not, but like for him, you need to play that up. So Corey says, again, if Blue and Jag go up on the block, they are going to be golden this week, right? If they can avoid the block and get rid of Jag. Corey says, if I win the power veto, I will leave the nominations the same and we can just vote Jag out of here. All right. So Corey also says he thinks that Cameron trusts him and Jared the most right now. I'm assuming he also meant like Bowie. Like Bowie's a given, right? But I think he meant like out of all the people that didn't vote for Wednesday. So everyone else. Yeah. So later in this conversation, Corey asks Izzy, how do you feel about Matt right now? And Izzy says, well, Matt is sitting pretty. Corey says, yeah, I've been getting really sussed out by Matt lately. Corey is not sure who Matt is closest to at this point. He thought it was Sari, but then he's realizing, whoa, Matt is also super close to Jared. He's best friends with Jag. He'll hang out with me in America for hours every night. So he's in like a really good spot right now. And Izzy agrees. Matt has positioned himself really well. So Corey brings up how Matt has been talking shit about Izzy in America. And Izzy's like, I just don't get it. Like, what's going on here? So Corey lists off his targets, and Matt has really moved up on this target list. Of course, the next two targets for them would be Jag and Cameron. But after that, Corey's, oh, hi, Lamb. She just made eye contact with me. After that, Corey says it should be Felicia and Matt. So Izzy's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Well, they're really glad that the vote did turn out to be 8-2 this week and not 6-4. Because if Mimi and Felicia had voted with Bowie and Cameron, there's a chance that they would be safe this week with Cameron, right? So they're really glad that they didn't split the vote that way, since Cameron won HOH. But Izzy says what happened, she and Sari let Mimi and Felicia know that Red was going. Of course, we knew that this was probably going to happen, right? They were not going to actually go through with that plan. And Izzy was like, yeah, all we had to tell Felicia to get her to switch her vote to vote out Red, we just had to say, Red's been calling you a liability, and he said that you've been running your mouth. And she was immediately like, all right, let's vote him out. I had a feeling that's what was going to tip the scales here. Anyway, meanwhile, Jared was lamenting in the living room with Blue. They're bummed about being on slop. They're upset about Cameron winning HOH. And then Jared's asking, should I propose to you at the finale? She says that she would say yes. She says she would say yes right now even. This is a joke, right? Like the other day, these two were talking about how they're not into marriage. And like, I can't. But Jared, back to the game. Jared is asking, how do we let this mother effer, Cameron, win again? Jared says Cameron needs to go next week, right? Because he can't play for HOH. And if they keep him around, he's just going to keep winning. And he's going to keep dodging bullets. And eventually, Cameron could end up winning this whole entire thing. Good luck. All right. So a little later, who wants to see Cameron's HOH room? Not many. It was a very tepid cheer and applause moment. That's rough. Cameron said, let's just knock the shit out. He can tell people are not jazzed about this. And he says, you guys don't have to stay long. I know it's late. It was only like 11:15 p.m. I would not call that late in the Big Brother house. But anyway, everybody went upstairs. He got new pictures of his daughter, Stevie. He got new sunglasses, a hoodie, White Claws, snacks, grits, which he was very excited about. But nobody can partake in enjoying the snacks with him, right? Because everybody else is on slop this week. That's a lot of leftover snacks. His music is Fall Out Boy. I don't know what album, but it's Fall Out Boy. And his letter, of course, was from his daughter, Stevie. So Cameron is trying to hold it together reading this letter. And it was very sweet. She was talking about how she started the 3rd grade. She loves reading and writing. Get it, girl. And yeah, it was just a very cute letter. Everybody cleared out pretty quickly after that, though. He gave them an out. He was like, you guys don't have to hang around. Like, I get it. Lammy, come here. Lammykins. All right. So after that, Matt and Sari have a check-in in the have-not room. And they're talking about how they feel like Felicia is going to act even crazier this week with Cameron as HOH, right? Because she's going to be freaking out. She's going to be spiraling. So Sari says Felicia is going to say all kinds of shit. She's going to throw everyone under the bus. We don't need to be giving her any extra ammo to use against us. So Matt's like, yeah, I'm just going to sit back this week. And he brings up how Cameron already questioned him about what happened with this vote. And Matt says, I told Cameron that I found out the vote was flipping from Felicia an hour before. That's a lie. But he also says, I told Cameron that you and I both wanted to keep red, but we didn't want to be on the wrong side of the vote. So that's why we changed our votes. So Sari's like, that's perfect. Thank you so much, son, for telling Cameron that, right? Sari has really been leaning on Matt and Jared to try and make sure that she's going to be safe with Cameron, right? We saw the other day she was trying to basically like force Matt and Jared into an alliance with Cameron for this very situation, right? For the situation of Cameron winning the HOH. So Sari says she's just going to act normal this week, right? She's not going to be talking to Felicia any extra, right? Don't need any info getting circulated around because of her. And she says, Matt, I'm going to tell you, Cameron said he's putting up Jag and Blue. And Sari said she's pretty sure that Cameron is hoping that Jag will win the power veto and pull himself down so that he could make a backdoor move, right? And she suspects that Cameron would put up herself, Izzy, or Felicia. I mean, I was definitely getting that vibe at the time that he was planning a backdoor move, which I think would have been a mistake, right? Because if it was like a backdoor situation and there was only one of Izzy, Felicia, or Sari up on the block, they would have the numbers to stay. So it would be a waste of a move. But we have more interesting stuff coming up. Okay, so again, Sari is telling Matt, I need you and Jared to make sure that Cameron does not put me up as the replacement nominee. And Matt's like, don't worry, Cameron hasn't even been mentioning you as a target. And Sari's like, yeah, but that was before I lied to Cameron about the red vote, right? So Sari says, we have to get Cameron out next week since he can't play for HOH. And it's going to have to be a backdoor move. Hopefully he will not get picked to play for the power veto. All right. So then late last night, Blue has a one-on-one with Cameron in the HOH room. And this is a long-ass conversation, so I'm just going to give you the important stuff here. So Blue says for the past 2 weeks, ever since she was up on the block, she has been navigating her relationships with everyone, and she's not sure. She's not sure where she stands with a lot of people. And Cameron's like, well, if you're navigating our relationship, just know you're good, right? We're good. So Blue says, I want you to know, I wanted to win HOH in order to make a big move. Was your big move targeting Cameron? I don't know. But she says, I wanted to do something that will set me apart and also help to solidify my relationships. Blue says these last 2 weeks have really been eye-opening for me. Cameron's like, would you care to elaborate on that? Could you give me more details there? And Blue's like, all right, well, I feel good with Jared. And for the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling really great with America as well. But outside of those two, I'm not really sure where I stand with everyone else. So she says, when Jag and I were up on the block, I'm hearing that everyone was telling both of us that we're good and we're staying. So what's the deal with that? And Cameron's like, oh, yeah, well, people were just telling Jag that he was okay because they wanted him to stop campaigning. That is definitely part of it, but also they were back and forth on the vote a lot that week, which I don't think Cameron realizes. But Cameron asks Blue, how do you feel about Jag at this point? Cameron says he knows that Jag has been dragging him through the mud for weeks, but he says he still loves the guy. Love him, right? He says he can separate game and personal. And Blue's like, yeah, well, I've heard that Jag has been actively campaigning against me. Is she talking about when they were on the block together? What do you expect him to do? But anyway, she says she's still trying to figure out where she stands with Jag at this point. I think honestly, she's trying to create a distance between them just so that they don't end up on the block together, right? But she is still working with Jag. So Blue says, everything that I said to you, Cameron, is true. You know, if I won HOH, I was not going to target you. I don't know that I believe that. But she says at one point, she tells Cameron, I don't think you want to work with me. That's the feeling that I'm getting. You know, I've tried, I've put it out there, and it doesn't seem like you're into it. And Cameron's like, no, I believe what you're saying. Like, I do want to work with you. And he says, I want to tell you a lot of stuff right now, but I also don't want to put you in that position, right? He doesn't want her to have to be in a position to lie, you know, if people are asking her questions. So he says, if people want to play the shock and awe game, we'll play the shock and awe game. The shock and awe game. Okay, so at that point, it definitely feels like he's planning a backdoor move, right? So Blue says, I think we're in similar situations in the game right now, you know, reevaluating our relationships with people. I think Cameron's in a much worse position than you, but sure. So Blue says, if I win the power veto this week, I will rock with whatever you want to do. And if I win HOH next week, I'm still not targeting you in the slightest. So Cameron lets Blue know she is absolutely not his target this week. He says the plan that I want to do, if it works out, it's going to be pretty effing cool. Oh. Blue's like, well, who are you thinking about putting up? Cameron's like, I can't tell you all that. But he said, I do need you to play for the power veto. So he basically tells her, you're going up, right? And he does not tell her straight up that Jag is going next to her, but he tells her without telling her. So hearing this, Blue whips up some tears. She's like, I don't understand why I'm going up again. She says she's really nervous that she's going to go home if the person, meaning Jag, next to her wins the power veto. She says, I'm not going to have any numbers if I'm up against anybody else. I'm not going to be able to stay against anyone else. So Blue is crying and crying and crying. Like, she's really crying. And Cameron's like, you're not my target. Please win the power veto. I want you to win the power veto. So after this conversation, Blue is alone in the HOH room talking to the cameras. And she's like, what more can I do? I was literally sobbing. I mean, you could play the game instead of doing your fake crying, which I don't even know that was really fake. I think part of that was real. But seriously, play the game. Blue and Jag have so much information that they are not using to their advantage. I don't know if they're just like not thinking about it, or they really think that the 7 Deadly Sins is a legit alliance that's going to get them to the end. I don't know. But even if she's not going to spill about Jared and Cirie being mother and son, what about 7 Deadly Sins? What are you doing? Also, you could tell Cameron everyone's been targeting him, right? Give some more details on all that. But no, Blue's all like, what more does he want from me? I want him to put up America. So she says, give me an effing Oscar. That was the best cry performance I could have given him, and it still didn't work. He doesn't care about your tears. He doesn't give a crap. All right. Meanwhile, Jag and Matt have a game chat in the bathroom, and Jag says that Cameron is not his target. He says it really doesn't do either of them any good to take each other out. I think that's true. I think if those two work together, it could be something, right? If they target each other, they're just doing like Cirie and her group's dirty work. So he says getting rid of me is not going to help Cameron's game, and he's going to pitch all this to Cameron. Good luck. All right, so Matt tells Jag about how Felicia was trying to flip the vote against him that morning. He says Felicia was nervous because you, me, Corey, and America were all hanging out the night before. And they scoff. They're like, we were just eating quesadillas. You know, what's the big deal? So Matt is talking about how dramatic Felicia is, and like basically everything's her fault now. Everything is being put on her. He says Felicia is the one controlling the votes. No, he knows that's not true. But Jag is asking, were Cirie and Izzy solid about the vote? Like about keeping me? And Matt says, Cirie for sure. For sure. Izzy too. Izzy too felt really quiet. You know he's like obsessed with Cirie and will say anything to save Cirie. Izzy, I guess, is just along for the ride. But yeah, they're planning on pushing to Cameron that Felicia should be the target this week. All right, so then that was all last night. This morning, Cirie and Izzy have a chat in the storage room, and they're going over what they're going to say to Cameron during their one-on-ones. Of course, they're going to blame Red leaving on Felicia. They're going to say Felicia caused all this chaos on Thursday morning. She caused the flip, blah, blah, blah. They figure there's probably going to be a backdoor attempt this week. You know, it'll probably be either one of them or Felicia going up after the POV if it's used. But they're hoping that their allies will come through for them if one of them is up on the block. Like I said earlier, if Cameron really wants to take a shot at one of them, he needs to put up two together because they will have the votes to save each other if it's like Izzy versus Blue or something like that. But they agree. If Jag is on the block on Thursday, Jag's got to go. But if like Jag comes off the block and it's Felicia versus Blue, they're prepared to cut Felicia loose. Oh, Izzy says that's the best case scenario in her opinion. Whoa, even more than Jag? That's wild. All right. Meanwhile, Bowie and Cameron are chatting in the HOH room, and Cameron is saying, I'm still planning on putting up Jag and Blue. And he says, if the power veto is used, America would go up, but she wouldn't be the target. He said he wants Jag or Blue to go this week. So here's the thing. It definitely seems like this is not his real plan. It seems like he doesn't want anyone knowing his real plan, not even Bowie. And he told Bowie at one point, I don't want to tell you anything that you can't deny, right? He feels like there's a good chance that Bowie is going to get grilled about his plans. So he doesn't want to put her in a position to have to lie, right? Like we were talking about earlier. So then this is where things get really interesting. Cameron is doing his one-on-one chats, and it seems like we are in for a wild week. Jag is in the HOH room talking to Cameron, and Jag is giving his pitch. He's telling Cameron, you're safe with me. Next week, you're going to need people playing for HOH since you can't play, and you're going to need people who have a good shot at winning and who will keep you safe. And he says, I think I can do that for you. He says, you will not be in danger with me. And he's like, I'm thinking long term. It's going to be tough long term for us if we don't cut the BS because we are both at the bottom of the barrel right now. So we need to team up and trust each other. And he says it would be a waste for us to take each other out. Okay, I agree. So Cameron is just like listening to all this at first. He's not saying anything, right? He's just, you know, that psychology thing of like, you just listen and then the person just keeps like word vomiting because they want to fill the empty space. Jag was doing all the talking here. So after quite a few minutes of that, Cameron's like, did you get it all out? Damn. So then it's Cameron's turn to talk, and he tells Jag, I don't trust you at all. And Cameron brings up conversations that you and I have had have come back to me. And Jag says, the same thing has happened to me, right? Things that we've talked about have come back to me as well. So Cameron's like, all right, follow me here. You're a good social player. He says, I absolutely adore you. I love you, man. He says, it's clear we may have the same connections on the other side of the house. That's why our information is coming back to us. He tells Jag, I also think you're a pretty good actor. And that's a compliment. And Jag's like, okay. Can I ask what you mean by that? So Cameron's like, I really want to put you up on the block, right next to Blue. But I think you're right. He says, if for some miraculous, inconceivable reason, I decide not to put you up, I need to know with 100% certainty that you will not put me up at all next week. Not an initial nominee, not a replacement nominee, nothing. I want to be completely safe. And Jag says, I will make that promise. And I know that this would be a huge move for you to not put me up on the block. I get it. Cameron says, I have another caveat here. If any of this conversation comes back to me, it's over, right? If any of this comes back to me before Monday afternoon, like when they do the POV ceremony, I will make sure that you go home this week. So Cameron is telling Jag, like, I haven't decided 100% what I want to do yet, but, you know, let's give this a go, maybe. So Cameron says he wants Jag to act like he's going up on the block. Use your sad eyes. Use your sad face. And Jag is like, yeah, I'm on board. Let's do this. Cameron says this is the one shot that we have to work together. We can do something here, but I need you to stay quiet about it. So, okay, this is wild because now it's seeming like Cameron, not only is Cameron not planning on being boring and targeting Jag or Blue, it seems like he's also not planning on doing a backdoor move, which would almost certainly fail. But it seems like he's planning on blindsiding with his initial nominees. Ah! This is going to be wild. Okay, this is going to be wild. I think he's really pissed about being blindsided about this red vote, right? So he is ready to blindside everybody else with his nominations. And I think that this makes a lot more sense for his game because, like I said, he's got a better chance of getting rid of somebody from the power group if he has two of them up on the block against each other instead of just one after the POV. So Jag is following through with the plan so far. He goes and talks to Blue. He's acting like he's going up. He's like, bad news, I'm going up. Good news, we both get to play for the veto. He's doing it. So yeah, Cameron has the rest of his one-on-one conversations, and Cameron is telling everybody it's a redo of week 4. It's Jag and Blue going up on the block. And he's telling select people that America would be the replacement nominee, but like, that's not the plan. Unless he's also blindsiding us. I don't know. But yeah, I also want to mention a lot of people, of course, during their one-on-ones are trying to throw Felicia up on the bus. She's talking too much. She tried to flip the vote, blah, 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 blah. It's a whole thing. But yeah, nomination ceremony should be happening today. Who will Cameron put up on the block? We don't know. He's not even telling Bowie what he's going to do. So if you want to check back later, I will post the nominees in the info for the spoiler. I cannot wait to see who goes up. I'm assuming it's going to be some combination of like Izzy, Sari, Felicia, Jared, somebody, 2 people from that group.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Put me on the block.
Huh?
I want to go on the block.
You want to go on the block. Uh-oh. Another thing I have to say, I really hope you guys are not going to hate me, but I can't do a spoiler tomorrow.
Why?
I'm sorry, because we're doing our first craft fair, and I'm super excited for it, but it's like an all-day thing almost, so I'm not going to be able to do a spoiler.
It rains so bad.
Unless it rains like crazy torrential downpour, which I don't want to happen because we have a lot of inventory that I would like to sell. So, yeah. To make up for that, I will be doing a spoiler on Sunday. So that will be our catch-up day, and we'll be able to talk about who went up on the block, the reactions, because I'm sure there's going to be crazy reactions, and we'll be able to talk about the veto as well. So that'll be good.
But it might be Saturday.
Right. I'll tweet for you guys for sure to let you know what's going on, but it's probably going to be Sunday instead of Saturday this week.
Maybe.
We'll see. All right. So I want to thank today's super chatters because you guys are amazing. Let me just switch over here so I can see everybody's messages. Okay. Laura Dalton, thank you so much for the super chat. Mary Ellen L, thank you so much. Jefferson Tucker, thank you for the super chat. Oh, Jefferson says, go to Rocky Horror in a couple of weeks. Annual tradition since 1990. Woohoo. Yeah. We're going in a couple weeks too to see a live performance. And I'm so excited. Well, I guess it's more like a month away, but I look forward to it every year. I'm so excited. Thank you again for your super chat. Migdalia G, thank you so much for the super chat. And they said, hi, Maddie. I so wish Cameron put up Jared and Blue or Jared and Izzy. Those secrets would be coming out. Much love. I freaking hope some secrets will come out. Let's get it popping. Let's get some secrets out in the open.
It's Frankie Grande, this thing.
Social media mogul. It'd be great. Oh, my husband, Sean. Thank you. He said, put this towards the supplies you'll need for an anti-rain dance. Yeah, we're really hoping it's not going to pour tomorrow because this is our first craft fair and we want it to be a success. So keep your fingers crossed. Thanks. I love you. William Dang, thank you so much for the super chat. William says, Cam is wasting his HOH on Jag and Blue. Is he though? He says Bowie is clueless. Sri is safe again. Jag is such a flop. Even Taryn Armstrong from Rap goes off on him as one of the worst moves Jag has ever done. Jag has definitely had a lot of mistakes in this game. Like we've discussed before, he just seems too nice for this game.
He's too good for this game.
He's got so much information, so much ammo that he could be using, and he's not. He might get lucky this week with Cam trying to make a bigger move here. But let's just hope that he can keep his mouth shut, right? So that this move goes through. We'll see. Mary Ellen L, thank you again so much. She says, missed your last couple spoilers. I'm in the hospital with a broken ankle and shoulder. What happened? I hope you're not in a lot of pain. That sucks. I'm trying to catch up. Your updates are the best. Yeah, we hope you feel better soon. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I hope you have somebody helping you out and treating you like a queen. Is it B Mo? B Mo 22. I hope I said that right. They said thank you for keeping us all informed. You're welcome. Thank you for watching.
I don't think I got that one.
What? No, it's on here.
Oh.
Wendy Will, thank you so much. Wendy says I would like to see Blue go home. I'd like to see Blue go home at some point too, but I feel like we've got bigger fish to fry right now. But a lot of stuff that she says really gets on my nerves. I don't know. Anyway, Jack D 65, thank you so much. Jack says you're the best. Yawn all you want. Thank you. I really feel bad when I yawn, but I can't help it. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose, but some people get like really offended by it.
Stop yawning.
It's unprofessional. I'm sorry. I stay up late to work on these, to watch the feeds, and I yawn as a result. I'm sorry. I'm not a robot. But yeah, thank you. Benjamin, thank you so much for the super chat. Ben says, if you had to guess right now, who do you think Cam is nominating and who could be the replacement? Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. I think Izzy is definitely going to be touching the block, but I don't know who's going to be next to her. I kind of hope it's not Felicia, because if I wish. Oh my God, I would love to see Jared go up, but I don't know if he'll do it. It would make sense if he put Jared up. I mean, Jared put him up with Red, so why not, right? But I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Izzy for sure, though. I don't know that he'd put Suri up because everybody loves Suri, but also she did lie to him about the vote, so maybe that's going to be a turning point for him. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. And Felicia, is it Felicia or Felicia? Felicia Lee, thank you so much for your super chat as well. So, we will be back on Sunday, possibly tomorrow, but probably Sunday for more.
Tomorrow.
Keep an eye on Twitter. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll be back. So thank you. Yeah, we'll be back at some point. We will be back. We'll return like the Avengers or whatever. So have a good Friday night.
Like the Swallows to San Juan Capistrano.
Sure. So until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Yes, awkward ending. Gotta love it. Bye, everybody. Bye.